Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I have something very exciting to share with you today. I recently added a new feature to my garden that I've wanted for years, and it became even more important after my husband was injured. Many of you know that in August of 2021, he sustained injuries in a motor vehicle accident, which left him a paraplegic. What you don't know, and I haven't shared much about, is the fact that he also suffered a traumatic brain injury. All that we have learned and research that we have read states that it's very important to have a quiet atmosphere, music, very, soft music, the sound of water, the sound of nature, all tends to calm the mind. And so we had the nature. Can you not hear my birds singing? We had the nature views, but we didn't have the water. And so this year, it was one of my goals to get a fountain for the garden. I am so fortunate to be partnering with the Williamsburg brand and Campania International on this fountain. It was gifted to us in order to help my husband in his healing process. And so I'm very, very excited, very, very grateful, and very thankful. I was able to pick the fountain that I wanted, and I wanted something that would make a statement because my yard is huge. The gardens are big, and I wanted it to be not something that I've seen a lot of. And then I wanted it to be somewhat traditional because we're very traditional in our tastes in decor. If you look in my yard, my urns and things like that, they're all very traditional. We're not modern people. Not that I have a problem with it, it's just not my aesthetic. From the options that I had, I chose the Williamsburg Chiswell fountain, and it is quite stately. It is huge. The fountain came in 5 parts. It's the pedestal, the bowl, the part where the pineapple where the water comes out of, a pump cover, and the pump. All we had to do was have electricity ran to it and then fill it with water. Y'all, you have got to see. First, I'm going to show you some footage of it being delivered, setting it up, and then me in my joy. I will tell you though, since we've added it, you can't keep me away from it. I sit right here and have my breakfast. I sit over on the other side on the patio and just rest in between working in the garden. It has been not only a blessing for me, but my husband as well. We are able to sit on the deck outside our bedroom and just decompress and just woosa, just breathe out loud, after the end of a busy day. Y'all, our lives have changed tremendously. And so this may seem like something small, but it has made such a huge difference in just our outlook, our ability to handle stress, so forth and so on. So I just want to say the dangers of being outside. I just want to say thank you again to Campania International and the Williamsburg brand for their above and beyond generosity. It's about 3 weeks later and it's installation day. Our workers came bright and early to install the fountain because it was supposed to rain that day. First thing they did was dig a trench to run the electrical, and then they ran the plumbing underneath our house in the crawl space. Once that was done, they backfilled everything. So one of the first things we had to do was move all the plants from the center where I'm going to put the paver to set the fountain on. You can see we've already dug the trench And he is putting in a faucet on this side. The faucet used to be under the porch prior to the ramp being put on. Now that the ramp is there, I'm having to climb under the porch to cut the water on and off, which has been an issue. So, trenches dug from the house, coming here for the water as well as electricity. And I'm just moving a few plants from the center here, and here. And then I also relocated some blackberry lilies that I had here to the front. Hopefully this does what I need it to do. Okay, the reason we opted to put the fountain here is because our bedroom is right here and you can hear the water from inside. We can hear this little spinner that we have turning. We can hear the birds, and being right across from there, it would be good for my husband. I also think aesthetically it would sit in the center of the garden and would make for a prettier looking garden bed. Now, as you can see, I'm weeding at the same time. I've had to transplant some plants from in the middle because they were where the fountain is going. So I did that. We leave this space right here. So we're gonna level that down. I have a paver or two, if need be, to put right here to set the fountain on. And as you can see, electrical has come through. And I cannot wait. Listen to the bird song. It's going to be amazing once the fountain is set up to see whatever wildlife comes to it to use it to bathe. We're already covering up the wires underground. There's the wire coming out of the While the gentleman worked on the plumbing, his wife and I went to unpack the fountain. Y'all, this thing was packed so good. There was all that you see there are wood shavings. And it was packed to provide insulation for the fountain so that nothing would be broken. It arrived on a pallet and it was in cardboard box, and then it had plastic shrink wrap to it so that it wouldn't be damaged in the shipping process. We removed all of the wood shavings, and then we got to work breaking down the cardboard box. Had to pull out my little hoary knife because it just wouldn't break. Once we had that done, we were able to see what we were working with and all the parts that were in the box. We unwrapped everything and got it ready to be transported over to the area where the fountain was being installed. Okay, everyone. I had to do some rearranging after they installed the fountain, and so let me just walk you through what I did. As you can see, it's still rose season here in the garden and everything is looking so lush. Hubby and I went on a day date where we went to 3 nurseries, and I purchased these large foxgloves there. And it just so happened that my friend from Instagram, Nichelle's Garden, sent me the same type of foxgloves that she started this year. So her two are here and over there. I then got some verbascum from her. This is white wedding verbascum or wedding bell verbascum, and this is yellow candles verbascum. So this is going to be pretty. Have the foxgloves with the tall bell-shaped flowers, the verbascum with the tall spiky looking flower, and all of those are in shades of pink and purple, which this liatris is purple, and so forth. It'll really come together nicely, perhaps not this year, but next year. I have 3 of the smaller growing lilac bushes. So this one is this size, then this size, and then there's another one behind this rose bush that's about this size here, and they're all lavender. So this bed is pink and lavenders, and some peaches, and it'll all look really, really good. I am, oh, another thing I did is I divided the Stokes aster right here. They have this really light pink bloom. They almost look white. And I put it around the front of the fountain. I had to replant my irises, so hopefully next year I will get some blooms. And then I had to shift some daffodils and shift some daylilies around. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to hide the plug that's back here, and I hope that everything will grow in and hide it eventually. I don't want to prohibit someone from being able to get to it to service the electricity if need be. So I'm planting things that if they had to step on something or whatever, I won't be too hurt, because I was sure hurt when that man stepped on my irises. Anyway, I did want to show you the fountain up close. This is the Chiswell fountain and comes with the pedestal. And then I purchased this large paver for it to sit on at Home Depot. Everything that you need for the fountain comes with it. So the spout on top, the pump, which sits under the pump cover in there, as well as the electrical wire and tubing. We did have to get someone to come and run electricity from our house, which comes from right here underground out to the fountain. So that was a blessing. And to tell you what a big blessing it is, the gentleman didn't charge us at all. He said he got all the things donated. And when he got it all donated, he decided that he would donate his time also. So this entire fountain has been a huge blessing to us. I've been able to sit out here at my little table here and just listen to the water. It really does de-stress you. My husband says that he has been enjoying the sounds of it as well. So, and again, my little helper is sitting here. Everything is planted. I'm going to give everything a dose of fertilizer, water in the pots, and I'm going to call it a day, guys. I wanted to give you a perspective of how big this thing is. It's huge. I'm 5'7", so thank you so much for joining me today and sharing in my excitement about my new garden fountain. If you've enjoyed this content or any of the content on my channel, please consider subscribing. As always, happy gardening.